Welcome to vlog episode 6. You're noticing, Larry, how come we're not starting with the exact same morning routine where you grab your energy drink and your bag and you go play pickleball? Well, for one, tomorrow's a little different. Two, I'm working on something when I usually work on it. It is about 10:30. All my girls are sleeping, my wife and my 2 kids, and this is where any work that needs to be done on the KiwiLabs business usually happens. So what I'm doing today is submitting our CAD files for our new foam core. I mean, these are all the prototypes of days past. Like, this is foam core. This one's kind of foam core. This was gonna be a Gen 1.9. I thought I was cute there. That's not foam. This obviously says foam. These guys both have foam. So we've been working on it a while, but now that USAP lets you have a full foam core instead of all these that are mostly hybrids of polypropylene and foam. We're working with some closed cell high density foam, not to just totally steal words from carbon, but at the end of the day, that's like what's becoming the marketing lingo and the we're not using the same foam as them. I highly doubt it. We're actually working with our own custom foam company that does custom foams, specifically in the sports field. I don't really want to say their name because we're not like for sure using them yet. We're using a couple different options. They're still sending us a couple samples, but they work in the sports industry and they make highly, they call it impact resistant and resilient foam that regains its shape even after it's impacted. And I think that's really important. So what we want is a highly dense foam that also basically can't be dented. So we do want some mild compression. So we want it to give, but we definitely don't want it to give too much. And we also want it to regain its original shape no matter. So that's what these guys really specialize in. So I have been tinkering with a couple ideas and we're gonna draw that up today. And I wanted to just add that to the video because a lot of people do ask, like, Larry, what are you, a carbon engineer? Like, a carbon fiber engineer? Like, you have an engineering background? And I don't, but it's CAD that got me into the engineering side of paddles. So what I did was I used to work for a CAD application. So I was in software marketing, and there's a software that I use for our paddle designs, ArcSight. So I have it on this screen in particular because that's my finger in this video. So I was like the 3rd hire there, started just a long time ago, and now they're a pretty giant company. So we about 10x'd in my 2 years there, and I'm sure they're probably close to doing that again. So I'm gonna hop into my iPad here where I have ArcSight ready to go, and I'm going to start the drawing of our new foam core that we're going to submit to the secondary foam company that we're working with, and they're going to make the first full foam core sample of ours to try. That's what's happening. Okay, welcome to the inside of my iPad. This is basically the 4 ideas we're running with. I've had 4, so let me back up actually. So what we're doing is creating 3 prototypes. We're going along the theories of testing 3 ideas. 2 of them will not have any like cutaway or dynamic engineering at all. It'll be solid foam layers. We're going to do those 2, one at like a medium density and one at an extremely high density. So that's side 1 of the experiment. And then the one that we're looking, this CAD drawing, the one that we're submitting this is
for another high density one, but playing with the shape a little more. So we want to be able to test all three variables here of that like medium to soft one, the fully foam one that, you know, might end up being more consistent but too stiff, I'm worried about, and then this one where I'm playing with some hopefully dynamic feelings here. I wanted to keep enough rigidity throughout the paddle but have enough flex, so that's kind of the thoughts going into these cutaways. And I also want it to be extremely light and to generate a decent amount of pop. Now, my original idea would actually be almost cutting the entire center out. You think about Yola and what makes those mods and everything so successfully powerful, and it's because it has an extremely weighted perimeter with foam, and that's doing the heavy lifting of the paddle and basically allowing the center to, you know, quote unquote act like a trampoline and be able to launch. But that just would be tremendously too powerful. So I do want to keep foam throughout the center and kind of have, I'm using the word leading lines as kind of like an art term, but towards the center to enhance the sweet spot. So we're keeping the whole entire sweet spot as sort of like a cross texture, and we're going to allow like the 4 quadrants there to grab the ball. And in theory, it should work pretty great. Unless we're leaving too much space open, it could also lend to some inconsistencies. So that's what the play testing will lead, and by no means do I think this will be the final version. We're probably gonna have to try a couple different versions, of course, but this is more to test theory. And you know, I can't wait to get the paddle in my hand, and we'll see, and we'll go from there. So this is definitely more of a V1 as V1 gets, but once we get the 3 paddles in hands that I talked about, we'll play with them on these videos. You'll watch me give some feedback. We'll see how they hit. We'll get a couple people's opinions, and we're going to go through the whole process together here throughout these vlogs. So I'm really excited, and you know, if you're watching these and you're ever around me, anyone can play with these in these stages too and give some feedback. So I can't wait to just see what happens with it, really, and that's what makes it so fun. So this final end of the drawing here is my notes to the factory about how we're going to do the facing. And I think what'll play well with those recess spots is a layer of fiberglass. It's going to help stabilize the paddle and give it a little more punch and not be way too mushy. And then just a standard T700 epoxy finish on the front. So we'll run that over the foam core, and we'll have these samples here pretty soon. So I'm excited. Stay tuned, guys, because hopefully we have Gen 4 knocking on the door. All right, back to the video.
Okay, my wife is upstairs watching the Kardashians, so I don't want to interrupt her. So I snuck down here, and we are going to do the giveaway. Now, I went ahead and printed off, this is the packing slip of every single person who bought one of our typo hoodies or shirts. They've all been included in here, printed out. Some of them are stuck together like in rolls, so I'm gonna undo that before I pick. And I will say the first name and last letter of the winner here, and that is who will win the special cast and crew only the Dink paddle that we are giving away here on the channel. As I mentioned, we'll do another giveaway when the movie comes out. And that one we won't make it like like I still feel bad that I decided to do this as like a, you know, you buy something and that's like we're giving it away to people who bought stuff, but you know, it was just the first idea I thought of. So we will do more giveaways, and you'll have other opportunities if you are interested in winning one of those paddles. So let's go ahead and find out who won, right? So go ahead and we'll just, oh no, No labels left behind. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So we'll just keep shuffling around. And thank you guys sincerely to everyone who did purchase one of these from us. These are all kind of sticking together, so make sure we'll undo them as we roll. Everyone gets a third chance here as we shuffle. Not looking, and we're picking the winner. This is it. I'm feeling it. This one right here. Okay. And the winner goes to Nick C. From Lemon Grove, California. Congratulations, Nick. We will get that paddle shipped out for you today. Okay, I've decided I want to pick one more name here. So, and one thing I noticed, Nick actually left a note, and I swear this was all random. You saw me do it, but he left a note here. He said, "I love KiwiLabs. Also, please enter my name in the Dink Movie Pickleball Paddle Giveaway thing." I'm really glad that that's the name I want, because they actually bought with an intention to try to win that. So congrats, Nick. Let's do one more. I think I have enough of these. Let's do another Dink paddle. Let's do one more, right? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, let's do one more. Just dropped the entire bucket. Okay, starting over. Ready? And we're shuffling. And we're shuffling. Actually, I want to make sure I didn't lose any down here. For a second Dink paddle, we're going to do this. We're shuffling around. We're unsticking the ones that have found homes nested within each other. And we're twirling around. And who's it gonna be? Will it be you? This is it, right here. Make sure I just have one. The second winner of a Dink paddle goes to Sam P. from another California winner. Oh, Cerritos, California. Sam, congratulations. We have our two. Oh! The names. Now I'm dropping my recording devices. Come on, Larry. A little crooked. Okay, so we have our two winners here. Two winners here. I'm gonna go get these sent out with today's orders. And thank you guys so much for all your support. I'm actually headed to Florida for, if you're watching this, I'm probably uploading this in the airport. So I'll be in Florida for a couple days, just getting out of this snow behind me, man. I'm so over all this snow. I'm taking a break with the wife, getting some sunshine, hanging out. Is this crooked? Is that annoying? Is that better? What else? So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully you guys like this video. It's a little different. You got to see a little behind the scenes of what goes on to making some of these paddles, and a sneak peek at our next launch here. So as you saw in that kind of breakdown, we're going to do the hyper slice separate. That's going to be another hybrid shape and hybrid core of foam plus polypropylene. So that'll launch here. Hopefully, we got two more prototypes on the way. We'll get those tested and hopefully approved and out the door. And then lots of progress with these foam cores. I'm working with about 3 different companies. One foam supplier. We just sent the CAD file you watched me play around with. I sent that last night to have them develop 2 different versions of that. So we'll have those paddles within the next couple weeks. We'll definitely be sure to film that and document all that here on the channel. So if you're interested in the progress of we'll call it Gen 4 full foam paddle, stay tuned. Okay, and then the end of this video is actually going to be my play footage from Tuesday night. I only ended up recording 1 game all week, so we'll watch that game here. So that's how the video will end. We'll cut to that play footage. I'll have it nicely edited, hopefully, and then you could watch a little of our Tuesday night play session, and well, that'll do it. Let's check it out.
go to that footage. And we're at it again. Starting off with an easy third that I go right into the net. So this is, if you watch all my videos, I'll just kind of catch you up here. So I play with kind of two regular groups. This is my weekly kind of like men's, we'll call it like 4-0 and up group that we play like Tuesday nights with, and a little more, faster pace than some of the other footage that you usually see from us, where I play, still semi-high level, but with like, I don't want to say old, because they're not like older. They're all older than me. I'm like the youngest person in the group. That's why I say that. Where these guys were all kind of the same age. So I like having the two different groups. And, someone asked me the other day if I, use a different paddle for different groups. And I'm starting to actually. Really, I'm just using whatever paddle I have been liking the most lately. And, when you have access to literally any paddle and every idea, any time, all the time, it's hard to not switch paddles all the time. So in this video, I'm actually back to the basics, playing with the slice. And the reason I've been doing the slice a lot lately, like I played with it this morning too, it just is reminding me like the base level. That's like our core, what we're all about. That's the backbone of our company. That's the paddle we launched with. That is what we're all about. And really, whenever I go into a new design, I'm like, it's the slice, but this time it does this, So I'm always kind of thinking of it that way, because that's what we started with. So, I always, I'll play with it all the time still. But overall, my go-tos are still probably the 14 mil circuit we make. And then I've been playing with our foam prototypes here and there a lot as well. So not that I don't like our other paddles or anything. It's just when I'm playing, not just like rec for fun stuff, you go to a paddle that you think you can perform well with, and it's those paddles I just mentioned. They're just more tapered to my speed. Not to say I don't like all of our other paddles. It's just, we make something designed for every person, and I think that's good. Like the Juiced, for instance. Everyone who likes a paddle like that swears by that thing, and because it's got incredible spin, it's just got a great, like if you like a stiffer feel and elongated shape, it's like, the dream paddle, and people who like it don't just like it, they love it. Same thing with our Spiked. Like they're two really, really unique paddles that the people who are looking for something like that absolutely love it. And, that's how I feel about the slice and the circuit for me. Like those are my dream paddles that I go for. And I'll be honest, with these new foam ones, I'm really trying to follow that. I want it to be, and again, that's why I've been playing with the slice a ton lately. I want it to be the next level of our best paddle, which is the slice and the circuit are, in my opinion, our two best paddles. So our two next releases, the Hyper Slice and the to-be-named Gen 4 full foam paddles, I want those two to really be a new flagship for us here. So, again, that's why I'm, really trying to like just plant the seeds of like what makes our paddles great. And it's consistency. That's all I want to do. That's all I want these other paddles to do. That's all I want to make paddles that are just consistent. That you're going to get something, dare I say, consistent a 50th time. But I think that's the perfect word. Word. You know what I'm saying? You just want something that when you hit it, it's late, if you can't tell. I'm editing this very late, and this is the last thing I'm recording. I can't even string a sentence together. Let's just talk about the game. Anyways, I'm playing... This is so funny. I'm going to keep all this in, by the way, because if you're still watching this far, I'm sure you don't mind that I'm literally just losing my mind a little bit. I'm playing with Jason today. First time playing with him in a long time. We actually, when I was first starting... He'd be at the courts playing with all the good people, and frankly probably just be very bummed and still probably when he has to play with me, because he's just a much higher skill level than I was at the time. I feel comfortable enough now to play games with all of these guys, which is, awesome. That's all I've ever wanted out of pickleball, is just to not be terrible. And I'm still working on that, don't get me wrong. But, at least I can have fun with all the people who I used to think are, impossible to play with, essentially. So, all that to say, my partner's Jason here, and I haven't played with him in a while, so it was cool to see him link up with this group, because I know him from a different group, which is cool. Guy who just served is Michael. He's the ex-ping pong guy who just has some of the most not happy with that shot. Insane backhand flicks from knee level. It kills me the way he can take a ball out of the air from his ankles sometimes and flick it over and still land within the kitchen. It's probably the most annoying, yet just when you play against him. When he's on your team, it's awesome. But the way he can just squat down low and flick it from way under the net, it's disguised too. You can't really see where it's going. So it's his best shot, and he's not afraid to do it. We got kind of lucky this game. As I've been talking about him, he hit 2 or 3 in the net, and that's just really not like him. He's a pretty rock solid player. His partner's Chad, another guy who's in our group here, who is really fun to play with. I think I was saying disguise shots earlier. He's another guy who's really hard to read his shots, which I think is super, super skillful, because, man, is there anything worse than you step middle, you're ready to cover middle, because you see that they are lined middle, and all signs point to they're about to rip it down the middle, and then they go line on you somehow. These two guys we're playing against are so good at sneaking those through. So I'm sure you guys play or are that guy yourself or gal. It's just I've never been good at the whole snake eyes thing of looking one way and showing your paddle face towards a certain direction and then last second flip it. Anytime I try to get cute like that, it's going out of bounds or in the net. So I don't know. I've decided to stop working on that as a skill and just work on just landing the ball inside the lines here. And the camera was just moved, so Chad is now cropped out for the rest of the game. So sorry, Chad. This was a fun game, by the way. We started, I'm probably not going to put the scores in here, so I'll just summarize it here. Jason and I started this game down 4 or 5 points, and then catch up here towards the end, and I don't know how we squeezed this one out. I guess I'll spoil it that we won. Not that it's an epic news to know who's going to win this one, but we pulled it out of nowhere, despite, me doing shots like that. And I think it really just came down to us getting a little lucky that that Michael just wasn't hitting the shots that usually smoke me. Drop volleys. Is there anything more annoying than that? When you go back and someone just drops it at the lowest part of the kitchen and you have to sprint forward. I hate it. Not that I don't do it when I can, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Oh, did he land an ATP for the win? That's a cool way to finish. Okay, guys, I'm going to bed. Thank you for watching, as always. I'll be in Florida the next couple days. If you're around, hit me up and we'll play some pickleball. Maybe I'll be there till Tuesday, so let me know. Thank you guys for watching, and congrats to the Dink winners. Good night.